Hello everybody and welcome to Gaming for Immersion. My name is Michael and my goal is to try to create the most immersive Let's Plays on YouTube. This is going to be a Kostaltyn campaign and it's going to be using the new, highly recommended The Old World mod by Chaos Robbie. It's definitely a mod that I have had my eye on for a long time, and I never really messed around with it before, and then recently after the most recent patch came out, it was under maintenance, so I haven't been able to test it up until now. It has just finally released on the Steam Workshop, and this is my first opportunity to take a look at it. So that is what this campaign is going to be, but I want to say a couple of words ahead of time. So as I mentioned before in one of the previous videos, that the Festus campaign, which is a vanilla campaign, really is kind of the anomaly on my channel. This channel is generally more about trying to create the immersive grand strategy feel to Warhammer campaigns, and it's a little bit hard to do that with vanilla. So it was a fun campaign. I'm going to actually be continuing to do it, but as I mentioned in that other video, I'm going to kind of do it on my own time. I will go ahead and record the episodes and upload them for the people who are continuing to be interested in it, but I'm going to replace it in the main schedule with this campaign here. A couple of things about why we have chosen Kostaltyn. As somebody pointed out, with the end of the Malachi campaign, all of my campaigns turned out to be sort of the Chaos faction, so we wanted to reincorporate an Order faction into the mix. And as I mentioned, Kostaltyn was particularly requested. The theme for this campaign is going to be basically Good Guy Kostaltyn. He is not going to be allowed to declare war on any Order factions. We're going to be very careful in our diplomacy with other Order factions. I don't want to, raid the heck out of them until they declare war on me. That sort of seems like that would be cheating the theme of it. So we're going to try to play nice with other Order factions as well as possible. It'll be a little interesting to see how that plays out with respect to Tsarina Katerine here, but we'll do the best we can to try to stay thematic. In particular, he wants to be particularly nice and on good terms with the other religious legendary lords, faction leaders. So those off the top of my head being Volkmar the Grim for the Empire, the Fay Enchantress for Bretonia, and I believe Grimbindal with the dwarfs. And if there are others that should be added to that list, please feel free to let me know. And that's kind of generally the way that I like to do this. If you guys have ideas for thematic things that you would like me to try to incorporate into the campaign, please feel free to go ahead and do so. I will at least be accepting suggestions. I won't necessarily always try to follow every single one, but I do like to get them, and I know that most of you guys know the Warhammer lore better than I do, so I'm always open to those suggestions and to educating myself on more about the Warhammer lore. So I think the other thing that needs to be mentioned is the mods that we're using, obviously. The Old World, I don't know how many of the other mods that we normally use to try to give more of the grand strategy feel to the campaigns are going to be compatible with the Old World. But in any case, the main one, or at least one of the main ones, is the campaign movement reduction mod. Well, the whole reason why I decided to try using that mod to begin with was because of the Old World mod, where it spaced the settlements further apart from each other, and the end effect was to have fewer settlement battles and more like genuine wars where you're actually fighting wars and in between the settlements, and the settlements are more major objectives to be taken, as opposed to the whole campaign just being a steamroll where you're taking a new settlement or more than one every single turn. So hopefully all that makes sense. If you have any questions, again, feel free to ask, but that's sort of the way that I am thinking going into this. So we're not using the campaign movement reduction mod. My understanding is that there are already some replenishment changes built into this mod. I don't know if they are good or bad, but we will be finding those out. But I did look and I saw that the reduced replenishment mod that we normally use is not fully compatible with the old world unless you use a compatibility patch, which is currently not updated. So we won't be using, at least yet, the reduced replenishment. We'll see if that compatibility patch gets updated. Maybe we'll be able to add it later. I don't know. However, what we can do, I think, is still use the things like the Wounded Leaders Matter to make it more impactful if you lose your legendary leader. The wound timer is up to 10 turns. And the garrisons, we're still using Ultra Garrisons, so they're going to be stronger. It's a Zorbaz garrison, so the garrisons are going to be stronger. And we're using the Siege Tweaks mod, which will also make attacking the settlements more difficult in general. So, okay, I think that's kind of the main things that'll cover. I'll list all of the mods that we're using in the description below, but let's go ahead and dive into this because I'm sure everybody is tired of hearing me doing nothing but talking and looking at Kostaltyn swinging his torch around. So I have never tried this this faction in this mod. In fact, in the old world mod, let's go ahead. I think everything looks like it's pretty much the same here as normal. So let's go ahead and yeah, let's auto save to cloud. We do want auto Iron Man on. Legendary very hard. Okay. So anyway, as this is loading up, I'll just mention again, I've never tried the old world mod at all, let alone Kostaltyn in the old world mod. So I don't know how this will go. Obviously, it's a really huge mod, and there could very well be bugs in it as well. So we'll do the best we can. I will keep playing unless it becomes more or less unplayable. But hopefully that won't happen, and we'll just do the best that we can.
Urson speaks through me.
All right, so Urson speaks through me. We already know how to play the Great Orthodoxy. I'm not going to spend too much time on the basics. But I'm not an expert with Kislev by any means, so I'm kind of going to, learn as I go here, which sometimes happens in my campaigns, and hopefully that will be okay with some of you all. In any case, let's go ahead and take a look here at our hero. We got a Kassar Headman here. Leadership or size plus 20%, leadership plus 5. Win in own territory. That all sounds good to me. It's not going to help us in this first battle, however. We are using the mod that remembers the camera settings, so for anybody curious about this, it's why we end up having cinematic here for our own, low for allies. Enemies, I actually want to set them to cinematic as well, and I want you guys to be low as well. Okay, so even though I'm using the please remember the camera settings mod, I had to change them anyway. I thought I had already adjusted those in MCT, but anyway, one thing about this mod that I noticed is it took a long time to load in, and that is going to be obviously something that happens in this campaign because this world is enormous. We have the Fog of War, obviously, so we can't really see just how big it is, but I'll bet you when we look at diplomacy here, we will get a sense of just truly how gargantuan the old world mod is. And okay, so we are rank 103. There's already factions here that I don't recognize, so that's quite interesting. We are at war with... Okay, this is crazy. All right, so the Vampire Coast here, the Spirits of Norvard. Yeah, their strength rank 418. When was the last time that you played a campaign that had any faction at strength rank 418? That means there are at least 418 factions, and very possibly more than that in this campaign, at least for the beginning. So it could be some long in-turn timers. However, those of you familiar with my campaigns know, I do edit out the end turns and the loading screens in general if I'm not talking, so that hopefully will, I want to be very respectful of your time and not waste any of it by having really long loading screens. So let's go ahead and take a look here at our diplomacy. We have the Dracena enclave here who is willing to trade with us. I don't
shall converse.
really see any reason not to go ahead and do that. It's a little bitty bit of money per turn for as long as they survive. And, wow, our starting enemy is actually willing to make peace with us, but obviously we're not going to do that. Let's go ahead and head back here. Kostaltyn, I'm going to, I think, maybe not spend too long talking here before we just get straight to the action, so let's do that. Here's the Sea Hag. We can't really see what all they've got in their army there. I saw that they had 3 settlements. They've got a garrison of 11 right there, including a mortar or a cannon or a cannonade. What is that? Is that a... I'm not sure. I don't remember off the picture on the unit card there. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's go ahead and attack the starting army here. Okay. Be a Pyrrhic victory if we were going to auto-resolve it, which of course we won't. That's another thing for anyone else who is new to my campaigns. I almost never auto-resolve anything, only the most ridiculously one-sided battles. I just find that I get bored of the game much faster if I do auto-resolves. I really like fighting battles, and also the way I fight the battles. I guess I could talk about this while it's actually loading up here. Deck droppers and bombers. Okay, nothing particularly special there to worry about. Going to just be a settlement battle, or I'm sorry, a field battle. Okay, so as I was saying, I don't do any cheese tactics exploiting the AI. I try to fight basically set-piece battles where you have, you know, front line, flankers, back line with missile units in it, maybe, you know, some special things whenever it makes tactical sense to do so, but I don't run around and try to get the AI to do really stupid things in order that I can wipe them out without taking any casualties whatsoever. It's just not the way that I prefer to fight battles. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't pass judgment on anybody who does prefer those types of battles, and obviously they can be very effective, but it's just not the way that I prefer to play. So hopefully this will be okay with the majority of folks who found their way to this video. So let's go ahead and get our Kossars here on the flanks. We'll go ahead and put the Streltsy here in the middle. Don't have any melee only units except for Kostaltyn and our Patriarch. So what I will do, I'm going to use speed a little bit to our advantage here. I'm going to go ahead and keep you back. We'll figure out a use for you. You guys, we're going to go ahead and try to maybe get around the flank. Those deck droppers they're a speed 80. They are actually fast. No, they're not faster than our horse archers, so that's good. Okay. And then you. Oh, okay, yeah, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with you. Well, I guess the first question is, let's find out if they're going to come to us. If they don't come to us, we'll run forward here with our sleds and try to pull them towards us. Let's go ahead and speed things up a little bit. Okay, they are not. So you guys you've got a fair amount of ammunition, so there's really no reason to not go ahead and pull you forward. Your range is 130. Their range is only 90 and 60. Okay, so we can definitely get into range of our guns before we're in range of theirs. So let's go ahead. I'm going to leave you guys here. Could be that once we start pulling forward, or once they start coming forward, we will be able to back up here and they'll come all the way to us. Keep shooting at them. Okay, now get out of there. I don't want the I don't want the deck droppers to do serious damage to us. Keep coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. They are faster than this. Okay, this is a good time to get you guys in here now. Okay, they did a little bit of damage to us, but not too bad. Okay, they're turning around. Okay, you guys can stop then. Okay, that's good. That's good. Keep shooting them. Come on, guys. We want to draw you forward. Okay, there we go. That ought to pretty well take care of them, I would think. Critical binding. The rest of their army is coming forward. Let's go ahead and get you guys turned. I don't know. Why I didn't think of that sooner. Probably because my micro at this game has its limits. I can usually handle relatively small battles like this one, but for armies that I'm not entirely familiar with, like I said, Kislev is not a faction that I play a whole lot. I know the basics of them. I think I'll be able to do okay, but I have to think rather than behaving on instinct is basically what it comes down to. So we've got no magic. We do have a couple of fairly decent melee combatants here.
Stand shoulder to shoulder.
Go ahead and at this point make sure that we take out the gunnery mobs. Those are really going to be high priority targets as far as I'm concerned. You can go ahead and charge forward. So can you. Let's again focus on taking them out. You can shoot them from behind. You just shoot at whatever you want. Okay, go ahead and use your ability. And Kostaltyn. In a few seconds, he'll use his as well. At this point, I think we can charge in with our cavalry. You guys can back up a little bit. Okay, you guys keep shooting at them. You guys at this point should be able to just destroy them. We did take a little bit of damage here. That's unfortunate. You guys go ahead and keep taking them out. It's the gunnery mobs do decent damage, and then I have to remember that they also have magic. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. Oh, I forgot to use this. We're looking pretty good overall, I think. Not that I expected this to be a terribly difficult battle, but at this point, I think we've got them almost all disintegrated, and it's really now going to come down to taking out... Oh, I forgot. I am using Just Good Babysitter as well. They're actually doing pretty good damage here to our characters, so I do need to pay attention to that. That Sea Hag probably using magic against us. So let's go ahead and get you out. And Kostaltyn, let's go ahead and get you out as well. The rest of you, I'll make sure that you... Okay, let's go ahead and maybe pull you out as well. We've got her now where we can just tag her with missile units here. There we go. That should take care of it pretty quickly. We're going to save replay here. So we're going to do... Kostaltyn 0101, and this is, I forget the name of the faction, so I'm just going to say this, the Sea Hag. End battle. Alright, well, other than our characters taking some decent damage there, we pretty much got through that without too much trouble, without too many casualties, I should say. Alrighty. Pretty decent post-battle loot here. 1,700 treasury, 1,300 experience, Crown of Command. And I am using also another mod that reduces the amount of experience that you get. I'm trying to remember technically how it works. It's either reduces the amount of experience you get, or it might be that it increases the amount of experience that you need to level up. It is the slower, let's say slower character progression maybe, or something like that. Anyway, again, like I said, it'll be listed in the description below, but it means that our characters are going to level slower than usual. Very unimpressed by the treasury that we could get there. We really aren't going to get all that much out of the army replenishment there, so let's just go ahead and take the experience. I guess one thing I really should have done, just you can tell how long it's been since I've played a serious Kislev campaign. I forgot to check my my invocations here. So we have supporters generated 1 when constructing a building, 2 when fighting a battle, 1 when gaining a character rank, 5 when occupying a settlement. This gives the bitterness of winter to all armies. That could be quite useful. Causes attrition to enemy armies within your territory. Of course, I'm not going to go through all of these. I think I'm going to go ahead and try using Urson here. I think Urson is very thematic for Kostaltyn. So let's invoke it. Didn't have it there in that first battle, but we didn't do too badly, all things considered. All right, so now here's the real question. Can we attack this settlement with this army? I think hopefully we can. They have 4 gunnery mobs. They've got actually decent. I'm going to think about this for a second. Let me see how strong is that faction now. Okay, so we've wiped out their military strength. What we could do is back up, recruit, to strengthen ourselves, and we can't even replenish ourselves because this is considered high vampiric corruption even in our own territory. Okay, well that kind of settles it. We need to get this taken care of ASAP. So this is considered a valiant defeat now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to encircle it. I'm going to take a look here at the strategic situation. So if they attack us, we have a better chance to win because of the buffs that they receive from being a defending garrison. the siege tweaks mod. So what we could do is recruit a second lord here. We got the money for it. Let's go ahead. I think boyars are probably, or boyar, I don't know how they're pronounced in Warhammer universe. Boyar, I'll go with that. Seems like a good choice for Kostaltyn, but maybe... Okay, I like the idea of this strongholder. Physical resistance 10%, plus 5 melee defense in owned territory. So we will use Dmitri here as our defensive army to protect our own territory, while Kostaltyn himself does most of the offenses. So having chosen that now, the Crown of Command, no ancillaries. Okay, so let's go ahead and recruit into this army. I think what we're going to want to do is let's get a couple more Kossars here. And if they don't attack us, ooh, I'm noticing a little bit of lag, and that's probably just going to happen in this mod. Hopefully it doesn't get to be too bad. Okay, it was just for a second or two there. Okay, anyway, we'll play that by ear. But anyway, so if they do attack us, we'll have a slight advantage relative to us attacking them. If they don't, then we'll get Dmitri up there next turn to try to help out. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and do our researching here. I think casualty replenishment rate and growth is not a bad choice. We are going to definitely want to try to get some ice witches fairly soon. Convalescence is going to be a good choice. This is even greater casualty replenishment rate. Melee defense for Kossars and armored Kossars. Yeah, there's quite a few good ones. Trying to remember now where where's the one that it's something about pirates. Pirate. I'm not seeing it. Okay. There's another way we can do this. There we go. Pirate weapons. That's not the way that I remember it. I think... Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll find it later. Let's go ahead and, for now, let's try to boost our growth. I think that's a decent choice. I've already checked diplomacy. Let's go ahead and end our turn. Okay, so my goodness, are these end turns very, very long. I guess that's going to happen when you have 442 factions. Don't know how that's going to go later on in the campaign, whether it's going to get worse or maybe even possibly, hopefully, get better as factions get destroyed. But obviously, as more and more bigger armies come into it and more is going on, I have a feeling it's going to get worse instead of better. But anyway, it is what it is, and like I said, I will edit that stuff out. So anyway, obviously they did not sally out to attack us, which is good. We can now go ahead and get... Oh, we can't quite reach. Ooh, that's kind of unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to be able to reach this turn, but... Alright, well... Let's go ahead and... Well, we know that... Okay. Never mind going in March stance. We know that we can go... We know that we can almost reach. So let's go...
Let us advance.
Get a little closer. Go ahead and put ourselves in... It's going to have to be encampment stance to stop us from suffering...
Champion of the motherland,
casualties. And then we'll get there and help out next turn. For now, let's go ahead. And by the way, I should have mentioned this previously. The reason why this garrison is so strong already for a level 1 settlement here on the very first turn of the game is because of the Zorbaz garrisons, because we really want to make it feel like a major accomplishment every time you take a settlement. So it's going to just be much, much more difficult to do so. Not only are the garrisons bigger, with overall tougher units, it's a little hard to tell right now from a level 1, but also, like I mentioned before, they get buffs as well in battle when they're defending. So we will continue to lay siege for one more turn, and then we will attack them next turn when we have the support of our secondary army here. I guess I could probably afford, if I recruit in, let's get a couple Kossars with spears. If I recruit in, okay, yeah, they stay in encampment stance, so they still don't suffer any attrition, so that's good. Now we're getting to the point where our money is going to start to become a big deal. This, not that building, this building right here. Okay, yeah, I may end up demolishing this. In fact, I almost certainly will demolish it next turn. So let's go ahead and check diplomacy again really quickly. Okay, we got some more options here. So we got bunch of minor Kislev factions. I don't really see any reason to not play nice with them. So let's balance the offer, 97. This is, again, Good Guy Kostaltyn. This is what we're going to do. Brotherhood of the Bear as well. However, he looks like he may not be very long for this world. Still, no reason not to play nice with him. In fact, I just realized I probably shouldn't even be making them pay us money. We won't do that anymore in the future. We will not make them give us money to balance out the deal when we offer non-aggression packs. Okay, I think we're ready to go ahead and do one more intern here. I'm trying to remember if it was one of the older Total War games or if it was a different strategy game like Civ or something like that. But I remember a time when I'd click intern and then I'd walk away from my computer for 10 minutes because it took so long to process interns. That's what this reminds me of a little bit. So we want to go ahead and get all the way up here with Dmitri. He's going to lose the benefit of being inside his own territory, obviously, but that's okay. Giving us those additional units is really going to help, I think. And yeah, we're still getting a little bit in the way of lag, but I think it's only going to be on the campaign side. It should not happen in the battles, or at least that's what I hope. Let's go ahead, and now we can see a Pyrrhic victory. This is a mortar, okay. Not a cannonade, but a mortar. Let's go ahead and, I'm assuming this is a field battle again. Yep, okay. Let's go ahead and fight it. And obviously, because of his artillery there, the mortars, he's going to have the range superiority over us. So maybe we want to go towards them, or maybe, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Kossar, Kossar, Kossar Spear, Streltsy, Streltsy, Kossar Spear, Kossar, Kossar. That is our front line, like so. You guys are my 4. Let's go ahead and get you as close as possible, and we're going to just have to run you forward. You guys can be in behind. I'd need to be a little bit careful with how I use you. Let's go ahead and get you guys here into the woods, along with you all. You're going to be my 6. You're going to be my 5. You're going to be my 7. You guys are going to be my 1s. Okay, and then, so you, yeah, let's get you coming from over here. And we're going to try to swing around and get him hitting those mortars from behind. Actually, I think we're going to do it with the with these guys as well. So that should work. So You can take one for the team here. If they want to fire into the woods, that's actually good for us. The trees will protect you a little bit. Buy us a little bit of time to charge forward here. So start battle. Let's go ahead and start forward. Now let's go ahead and get you guys around behind. Let's go ahead and get you around behind as well. And let's see how they play this. So they are actually kind of redeploying here, repositioning, which is quite interesting. The mortars are firing, though, which is to be expected. I didn't see where they exploded. Maybe they missed us. I don't really see anybody having taken damage, unless maybe those Streltsy. I guess the Streltsy maybe did. Okay, let's go ahead and get you guys around over this way. Let's definitely get you guys now moving forward. We definitely need to take out those mortars before anything else. Guys, go ahead and head towards the mortars. You guys are still moving forward. Let's get you kind of like this. That ought to be good. What do we have here? This is leadership, speed, vigor per second. Okay, you probably should back up now. You guys just continue to hit them from behind. Okay, you can now kind of head over this way as well. Okay, vigor, yeah, I don't, okay, you guys actually, yeah, you're all good. You can keep firing. Take out that gunnery mob. Let's go ahead and do a debuff on them. I don't want them getting any kind of advantage on our war sleds. Okay, I think we're in pretty good shape here. We are slowly doing pretty good damage to the mortars there. Oops, oops, oops. Didn't need to do that. Okay. Yeah, don't worry too much about... Oh, no, those are the depth guard. Actually, you do need to worry about them. Yeah, stay away from them. Continue taking out those guys. I think we're making pretty good short work of everybody over there. Let's go ahead and get you now moving forward. We can get you on that gunnery mob. Actually, let's do it like this. Actually, no, you can get on that gunnery mob. That's even closer. Did we take out the mortars yet? Not yet. You guys definitely need to get out of there. Oops, oops, oops. Not you. Just you. Just you. You guys continue to take out the mortars. You guys keep shooting the depth guard there. Wow, I'm surprised those mortars have lasted this long. It's a bit disconcerting. Okay, we got our reinforcements coming in. You guys at this point should be able to finish the job here on the front lines, I would think. Okay, you guys go ahead and get out of there. Those mortars they're crumbling. Okay, that's good. All right, let's make sure now we get... at this point, we need to take care of that gunnery mob. This gunnery mob, you guys can go ahead and just get out of dodge. You guys... Boom. How are we doing here? We broke right here. That's fine. I'm sure they at least distracted a little bit. That deckhands mob has actually done better than I might have expected, but it's fine. Now we can go ahead and charge in with you guys. I think they're going to be in pretty bad shape at this point. Where's the Lord? Is this the Lord? Yes, it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and move forward here. Just keep... Yeah, they're going to start disintegrating here. Yeah, that's all looking pretty good. Okay, there we go. Save replay. This is Kostaltyn 0102 DC Hag. End battle. Alrighty, so we captured our first additional settlement. We have now leveled the playing field. They had 3 settlements and we had 1. Now we each have 2. I definitely need to be careful here with Kostaltyn and the Patriarch at these low levels. It would not behoove us to lose our legendary lord in battle already. So let's go ahead and do an occupy here.
This is Orison's home now.
Shield of Tolos, that's good. We'll take it anyway. It's not great, but it's fine. Campaign line of sight, again, we'll take it. Gain 50 supporters before the Ice Court does. We currently have 5, and that's because we just captured this. So clearly what we need to do are build some churches. And I think thematically that would make a ton of sense for Kostaltyn. So let's set about doing that. I think, yeah, okay. All right, let's go ahead and apply our skill ups first, I guess, most important thing here. Let's go ahead and give you replenished troops. Shield of Tolos, Sandslayers, okay, that's fine. So now, I'm not loving the winds of magic that we're suffering, but since we have no spellcasters at this point in the campaign anyway, probably not that big of a deal. So here we go. We know that we need money, but probably before we need money, what we really need are churches. So we're going to go ahead and demolish this. This means we can no longer build the Kossars with, or I should say recruit the Kossars with spears, but that's okay. We got a couple of those already. Now we will switch to maybe making, let's go ahead and give ourselves a couple of these guys. Money is obviously still going to continue to be an issue, but hopefully we'll have more battles in our near future to help with that. Okay, what we really need to do, probably as much as anything now, is locate where exactly the enemy is. So they're over here. We don't know where this is. Is it up here? Yes, it is. Okay, so somewhere up here is the castle, Alexandranov, and then we have Chabakov here. So that's going to have to be our next target, I suppose. Pretty obvious. All right, we will build the church here starting next turn. I'm not going to worry about going to war with Bord and Coven here just yet. Hopefully they're not going to be too strong. They have no enemies. That's a little bit of a concern. And they have 5 settlements. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting, really interesting start to the campaign. They actually would like to be friends with us, but they're vampire accounts. They're not an order faction, so I don't want to be nice to them as an order faction. And as I mentioned, thematically, good guy Kostaltyn here. We are not going to balance the offer. We're just going to go ahead and propose it straight up. Boom. There we go. Still no more trading available to us. And at this point, we could make peace. Again, I should say at this point, we always could, but I don't want to do it. All right, I think then we're already... I think we'll try to get one more intern in at least here. I still have a little bit more time left in this episode, but it's probably not going to be enough to get another battle in. Okay, and we do need to also very much pay attention to the public order here. We definitely want to get that vampiric corruption down. Do the churches help with that? Corruption -1, very good, okay. I thought so. We're 2 turns away from our technology. All right, let's go ahead and end our turn.
We can protect the land without your help.
Okay. I noticed that we're down to 441 factions now, so progress. Let's see here. We got Ritual Enforcer. We have Control +1. Okay, we encountered Azhag and got our first church built. Of course, we suffered some attrition. Okay. All right, looking good overall. Still going to be suffering from the attrition, unfortunately, in our own territory, which is not ideal, but can't be helped. Our enemy at this point is still going to be... No, they're not as weak as I thought. They're actually almost even with us. Okay, we might have to do a little bit of attack, conquer, defend, and then counterattack, which is what I like. You know, again, I want taking new territory to be meaningful in these campaigns instead of it just being an endless steamrolling of enemy territory. So we are already possibly looking at having to take our time, wait for them to come back at us, try to destroy an army of theirs, and then grab the next settlement on a counterattack. It's a possibility. We'll think about it a little bit more here. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and give you Ursun's Roar. Nobody else gets anything in particular. We did get... yeah, okay. All right, so Kostaltyn...
We can protect the land without your help.
I, at this point, want to move you out.
Seek out betrayers.
And into encampment stance, because you still need to recruit. I'm sorry, you still need to replenish. Ooh, hello.
That is not warranted.
Okay, that is good to know. So down here, we've got a garrison of 10 at Erengrad, which also is walled. Probably, yeah, should be able to hold out against that army. So here, this is interesting. That army's 15 units.
If it honors Urs.
I wonder whether it might behoove us to go in ambush stance. So what is our... No, we don't. We do not have very good ambushing prospects here. Dag nabbit, I wish we did. Wish we had a better chance to ambush. If I switch to ambush stance, I will suffer some attrition. What is that stance? That's encampment stance, okay.
Ready.
Alright, well, what we're going to do with you... First of all, how... Okay, so I guess we're going to have to wait for the corruption to dip below 25%, or, I'm sorry, below 25, before we stop suffering attrition. That's unfortunate. Alright, it is what it is. Like I said, we're going to keep you going. We want you close enough to Erengrad to be able to destroy the rebellion when it happens. You can go into channeling stance. Should probably just make sure.
Kneel to Ursun.
I just realized they might actually be able to get... I'm going to switch back over to ambush stance because I actually want to make sure that we're actually in between them and the settlement. I cannot afford to have them attacking the settlement.
Your zeal unsettles me. Defender
Okay.
of Kislev.
Yeah, because that garrison is so weak right now, it's definitely in no position to be able to defend itself. And then, like I said, we want to build the church here, the Orthodoxy Oubliette. Is that how you would say that? Let's go ahead and do it. Money, obviously, a problem. Maybe I go ahead and recruit a little bit more
Betrayers.
in the way of troops with
Betrayers all
you
around.
rather than putting you in channeling stance. So let's put you
Break
in
bond and bring me a drink.
that stance. Let's go ahead
Warriors to
and
defend Kislev.
we're going to recruit 2 more of these.
Heed me.
Yeah, I just want to have a decent number of melee combatants. I know Khazars are not bad in melee, but they're definitely not what I would call
I do
strong.
not know if you are
Okay,
mad
so at this point,
but
I
I
feel
have
like we
heard
should
you
be able to
fight like
defend
one.
this settlement, and then this one down here, Erengrad can certainly hold its own for a turn or two if they decide to come down that way. So that's roughly the plan. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy out. We definitely don't want any additional enemies just yet, so don't even want to think about these vampire counts down there. Okay, let's go ahead and end our turn. This is probably going to have to be the last in turn for this episode. Okay, we got our first technology researched here, so that is definitely good. Okay, we got the vampiric corruption all the way down to 30, so that's excellent. Okay, this is very, very good. We are now no longer suffering attrition in our own territory. Let's just take a look here really quickly at the strength. Okay, they're still weaker than us, so that's good. They haven't gotten suddenly stronger over the end turn, so I'm going to continue to leave Erengrad undefended other than its own garrison, and then you can go ahead and you know what I just realized is, okay, I'm actually going to leave it here. We will pick up at this point in the second episode, but I think I want to try to keep these right around 1 hour. So let's go ahead and leave it at that. I will send the patriarch here forward to scout ahead now that I feel a little bit more comfortable moving around in our own territory without having to stay in encampment stance. Let's try to find that enemy army. Maybe we can catch up to them and destroy them. I'm a little surprised they didn't move towards us because they didn't pull us out of ambush stance. So that means they shouldn't have seen us. But we all know that the AI sometimes behaves as if it can see you, even when it should not be able to. So it is what it is. So that's going to be the plan moving forward. We'll try to wipe out that army and then do a counterattack and take on the next settlement. But it's obviously going to be a very, very challenging campaign. Like I said, the Ultra Garrisons kind of makes it that way right out of the gate. So, all right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Please, again, feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, advice, all that jazz. Go ahead and feel free to leave any of that. And I suppose I will see you in the next episode.